Hi guys, as promised you're going to get a video on subordinating conjunctions, the but. I apologize for this being super low tech. I don't even have normal paper, but it's going to explain what you need to know in order to form these sentences in the right way. I'm actually also going to do a separate one on indirect questions, so look for that one as well. Okay, so when we're dealing with subordinating conjunctions, we've already talked about how they boot verbs out of place, right? So that was the first way that we talked about it. Meaning, when you have a word like weil, it kicks the conjugated verb to the end. So you have a sentence like, ich gehe joggen, weil ich, and now this is where your verb would show up, right? But it's not there. Fit, bleiben, will. So there's my verb, right? Weil takes it all the way to the end of that sentence. Now, whenever you're dealing with the boot, it is similar. It's going to move the verb out of place, but what it means is you're going to use it when you begin a sentence with a conjunction. So instead of saying, I go jogging because I want to stay fit, you would turn that around and you would say something like, because, weil ich fit bleiben will, comma, right? So far so good. You already booted the verb in this clause because here's your conjunction, booted that verb. Okay, but because we started here, that second part of the sentence, ich gehe joggen, is also going to get rearranged. And in this case, what happens is the entirety of the first clause is the first element. All right, so all of that is my first element. So that's my verb actually comes next. Gehe ich joggen, right? So instead of being right here, it got moved to second place. And the reason I call it the but, because you have two conjugated verbs back to back, separated by a comma. At some point, some student pointed out that looked like a but, and there it is. We got stuck with the but. Okay, things to keep in mind, things to remember when you're looking at this stuff. The verbs that you are moving stay conjugated. They don't change to the infinitive. I know when we move things in German, a lot of the time things go to the infinitive form. These do not change. They're still conjugated verbs. Everything else in the sentence stays in the same place. Nothing else moves. You're only moving the verb itself when you're rearranging this. Okay, the but only happens if you're starting with the conjunction. The boot, which you're using in both parts, is in the part that has the conjunction itself. Okay, as a quick reminder, words that function this way are conjunctions are your als, bevor, bis, damit, das, nachdem, ob, obwohl, there's a lot, seit, während, weil we already had, and then. So, I hope you already have these in your notes, but just in case you do not, als means as and when, right? So as when you're doing a comparison, when you're using it as a conjunction, so maybe we should not put that translation in there. Before means the same thing, same word, before in English. Bis means until. Now bis, you guys already learned when you learned it as a preposition. So it can be in prepositional phrases. In this case, it's being used as a conjunction, so keep that in mind. Damit means so that. Das, just like any das with just one S, means that. Nachdem is after. Ob is whether or if. So in English, we translate this to if quite a bit, but it's really like a whether or not. So whether is the one that you should keep in your head. Obwohl is although. seit. Another preposition used as a conjunction here is since. Während is while, or in some situations, whereas. Weil we had was because. And then is when, whenever, or if. I hope you can read that. Okay, so we've got lots of those. I'm going to stop this video here. There's going to be another one just to talk about indirect questions. And they just use a specific set of these, but they're going to be similar. So look for the second video.